Hello, everyone, and welcome to the RTA Season 31 Legend Tournament. My name is Evan, and I'll be your host tonight as we throw the top 4 players from the ranked season into a bracket and make them fight until only one is left standing. And together, we'll crown him a legend. What's up, chat? I see J-Max in here. I see Rageki's here. Storm Titan as well. Vincent. Folks, I'm excited to be spending the night with you tonight as we go through some of the coolest games that we're going to see throughout the entire season of the Legend Tournament history. Season 31, this is a real big one. And folks, it looks like I'm flying solo here tonight. Topa V was supposed to be with me. Unfortunately, he ran into some very unfortunate internet problems at the last second. Totally not his fault. If you want to blame anyone, I don't know, blame his ISP. I ain't calling anybody out. Maybe it's Spectrum. I have Spectrum, not the biggest fan. So we're doing this together, chat. I see Ultra Deathlord is here too. He was here first. Together, guys, we're going to be making history tonight. We're adding another name to the Hall of Fame. Someone's walking away with that legend title, and you and me, chat, we're burning that midnight oil. In this case, the midnight oil is coffee. If this is There Will Be Blood, I'm Daniel Day-Lewis, baby. Let's do this. Rip Topa in chat. Y'all are so funny. You guys are great. Just mere moments ago, we decided on what our top 4 are going to be. And that was just 32 minutes ago at the stroke of midnight. The World Arena season ended, and now we find ourselves at the precipice of the Legend Tournament. Again, we got our top 4. We're going to find out who number 1 is. Ceremonial by this point. By the end of a very short bracket, we will have our winner. It's SWC mode the whole way through, and it's a best of 5 as well. I'm kind of a big fan of this change, to be honest, because it was best of 3 for a little while, and that just kind of felt a little short. I like getting to spend more time with these players, let them get more familiar with each other too, make it so that 1 point isn't necessarily the thing that does them in and sends them home in their Legend Tournament run. Thanks, chat. Appreciate you. Appreciate you for that. So at the end, we'll have the Legend Summoner again. We're doing best of 5 the whole way through. And of course, there's a lot of rewards to be had, even if you're not in the Legend Tournament yourself. If you're just playing at home and you manage to achieve a rank of Guardian, or even up just in the higher ranks, you'll walk away with the Hand of Reincarnation Shadowcaster skin, the Symbol of Brilliant Thunder or Aura, as well as the Chubby Hamsters. What the? Ellio's got a new mount, and it's looking pretty dope. I wish I achieved a rank that was high enough to guarantee some of the stuff that's the juicier things in Guardian and above. And also, the Legend will get a very unique building that they can put on their Sky Island to commemorate the fact that they actually won that Legend title in a tournament. All right, folks, let's see who you're rooting for right now. We got our top 4 decided, and there are some household names up there, too. If you guys are fans of SWC, you'll probably recognize a couple of them. Heck, honestly, if you're a fan of Legend Tournaments past, you'll recognize a few of them too. True Whale was sitting at number 1 at the end of midnight. And I know that Sphynx crawled to rank number 4 towards the end. It was a tough fight between Sphynx and Tars towards the end. We almost had a defending champion coming back into the Legend Tournament. Folks seeing Legend Tournament Season 30 will remember that Sphynx played a lot of Berghild, one of my favorite LD5s. Zoe, what's going on? Oh my god, you're up so late, and it is probably not going to end for a little while. Sphynx was bringing the Berghild that I'm a huge fan of, brought the Gianna as well. Got some very strong LDs. Of course, we've got Lest too. If you play Summoner's War, you know the name Lest. Rank number 3 at the end of the season, also SWC 2023 champion, and also the runner-up at 2024. Most picked for the season, he was using Silver Part 2. We got the Jongnam as well as the Water Twin Angels, the Sekhmet, the Etna. This is somebody who's trying to go very fast, lock you down with hard crowd control, just take over the game through intermittent value. You also see that folks like to ban the Doman from him as well. W Omega Lol, J-Mac. Bless you, dude. When is Evan going to be in the Legend Tournament? It's not Season 31. Tell you that. I'll keep you posted how Legend Tournament Season 32 goes. Then we got Pooh, who's in rank 2. And he was the APAC champion for SWC 2024. I'm expecting a lot out of Pooh today, actually. I think that he'll probably make a good show for us. In fact, all these players will. Again, they have a lot of time to get to know each other through a best of 5. I mean, as if getting to know each other on the ranked ladder wasn't enough already. Narinder Powell says, thank you so much for staying up the cast, Evan. Honestly, it's my pleasure. This is the part that I look forward to the most during an RTA season. And lastly, there he is, achieved rank 1 in this season of RTA, the Legend Tournament champ of season 17 and 23, and this year's America's Cup champion, True Whale. Most picked, we got the Yonhong represented, the Cigar, the Julian, the Water Twin Angels, and the Doman. Is kind of a surprise to me to see the Doman in the most picked spot. Normally I see Doman in the most banned for people. It's kind of rare that she appears in the most picked section. We'll see what he's bringing. Again, something to keep in mind going into the tournament is that folks typically use something for climbing the ladder, and what they bring into a tournament format may end up being different than what we've seen just in their ladder climb when they're trying to get some wins. Folks in chat saying Doman OP. Dude, I feel that. Doman, though, is one of those units where if she doesn't do what you bring her to do, it just kind of feels bad. She kind of reminds me of Sekhmet in that way. Oh, James, stop that. That's so sweet. Dude, that sort of compliment, that'll get you far in life and in this chat. Why is the 10 by 10 so bad? And that's from Black City on YouTube. So Black City, there's another event that was also announced as part of the 10th anniversary. There's another one in there too. I don't know if that may not change your view on the 10 by 10, but trust, there are some great rewards in there, such as the Ancient Transcendence Scroll. That and more. It'll be available in Summoner's War. But today we are here for the games, chat. We had the bracket. Traditionally, they match rank 1 and rank 4, and then rank 2 and rank 3. We'll see how this goes. Yeah, Tigrex, exactly. Don't make him blush, dude. Don't make me blush, chat. I'm the only one on camera tonight, okay? I'm just going to be sitting up here all red. You don't want that all the time. Folks, I'd love to hear the votes. Sound off in chat. Who do you think is going to walk away as the legend for tournament season 31? Who is going to be our legend? Walk away with their name in Hall of Fame. Who will it be? Here we go, guys. We're going into round 1 of the first matchup in the Legend Tournament for Season 31. It's True Whale versus Sphynx. Pre-bans are coming out. Time to chase the dot. Couldn't have thought of a better time, Machuca. Oh, Nelly the God joining us from Mount Olympus. What's up, dude? Folks are saying Lest. I'm seeing votes for True Whale. Saying True Whale with the statement. True Whale pre-banning out that Berghild is a really good call. If you watched Season 30's Legend Tournament, you'll know that Sphynx got a lot of value out of that Berghild. I've had that conversation with folks. Berghild is probably top 3 in terms of valuable nat 5s for LDs. I think that was a conversation that I had with Stoic and Thompson on stream, and we cited, at the time, Gianna. This was pre-most recent nerf in the last balance patch, but Gianna, Thompson valued to be number 1, Julian a close second, Berghild number 3. I would still agree with that pyramid at the top, but I'd love to hear what folks are saying. Sphynx saying, I very much would like to go first. Locks in a Water Twin Angels and a Sekhmet. Super high base speed monster down there. We got a speed lead as well. And just probably the most problematic damage dealer I've ever seen. The one that just won't go away. Julian. He gets to auto cleanse. Christina gets to auto cleanse. All I'm saying is, when does Lydia get that? We got a Yonhong. So right here, True Whale is also presenting some high base speed units with that. If anybody could beat a Sekhmet to turn 1, it would be True Whale. So we'll see if he's able to lock in that turn 1, or if he maybe just wants to receive some of that damage, maybe go on the defensive, clap back with the skill 2 from Ongiyuki. I don't know what True Whale's got in mind, but I have a feeling that this first round is going to set the tone for the rest of the set. We're going to lock in and understand more about what he's bringing to the table. So folks are saying that Lest and True Whale's who they're thinking. Who are you rooting for now, chat? I didn't see a lot of sounding off in Twitch chat. Appreciate you, Tanner. Thank you for that. Ultra Deathlord saying, I'm hoping it's Lest who wins this. Oh, and a last pick, Leo. And that's got to be a force ban considering that Sphynx is presenting a Sonya. A lot of units these days are built to be Sonya proof, especially with the defense lead from Cigar. But we'll see what happens when we get into the game. Well, these players taking their time to decide. This is taking a long time to just ban out the Leo and the Sonia. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. I was going to say, they're taking a long time to just ban out that last pick. Now they're choosing their leader. 24 and 33 speed leads are chosen for both players. That's it, guys. Just like that, we are well underway for round 1, the first matchup of the Legend Tournament for Season 31. True Whale versus Sphynx. Let's see who gets it in the face-off. This segment takes turn 1. Sphynx gets to decide where he wants to put it, and Sekhmet gets to decide if she wants to land it. Looks like she's being a little well-behaved tonight. Wish my Sekhmet did that. Panda says would love to see Pooh win this, but I don't know. Hard to beat. Hard to beat, folks. I know. Honestly, guys, I was talking to Topa V about this before his ISP decided to shut down his service. Is that, you know, we almost reached a point where we had every region's like champion in the top 4 here. Oh, of course, Oliver procking. Notably, too, this Ongyuki is in the perfect setup for Julian to attack in it. You saw that because he has immunity, that means the Julian is incapable of stunning him. So that means he just gets to do a ton of damage, doesn't give the damage boost to Ongyuki, but Ongyuki is not afraid to just throw out a raw skill too. Look at the damage. Everybody's sitting at 50%. That's the rune quality of True Whale. True Whale, the type of guy to rune gap in the top 4. Let's see this, baby. True Whale would hate me if he said that, or if he heard me say that, rather. We're getting some nice provokes in from the cigar. Ongyuki here, he's got a glancing on, but that doesn't stop him. Nothing can stop this guy. He does damage. He applies defense break. He's winning the game. Oh, and Oliver be procking. Everything could be going wrong for Sphynx's side, and this Oliver is going to be there trying to win him the game at the end. Finally gets the increased cooldown time and the pushback on the cigar. Yanhong is dry on skills. Oh, I thought for sure she was going to be able to confirm the kill on the Sekhmet, but she is just shy of lethal damage on that one. We've got a hug ready and waiting from Chandra. He's taking his time to think. I think ultimately the Yanhong was the right answer and probably his first instinct too. First kill. We already lost the Sekhmet. And now Oliver is doing his thing. He's procking. He's taking tons of turns. He's trying to pull this back for Sphynx. He's doing the job of 2 monsters. This Oliver is 50% of his team somehow. Oliver, he is doing everything he can for Sphynx right now. You got to admire this monster, man. What's going on, Capo? Welcome to the Legend Tournament for RTA Season 31. We're just in the first round right now. Sphynx versus True Whale. It's already been really exciting. You know, oh man, that was a great kill that he just secured on the cigar. I almost think that he probably could have taken down the Ongyuki. Oliver cannot be stopped here. I think Sphynx can probably start going in on the Ongyuki now. He could do, you don't want to use skill 2 on Ong though. That's the main problem, because notably the Dark Onimusha cannot be killed if he's stunned. He also gets bonus damage if he wakes up from a stun on his turn. Okay, we got the focus shot, and that's enough to secure the kill. Yanhong with no skills against the world right now. True Whale is just thinking about the next round right now. That was looking so positive for True Whale in the beginning, but I tell you, dude, you thought I was joking about the Oliver. I'm not joking about the Oliver. He was doing so much, bro. He was 50% of that team somehow, despite being only 25% of the represented monsters. Okay, chat, so we got 1 win on the board. I just finished talking about how this is a best of 5. 1 win doesn't necessarily mean the whole world. They have time to figure it out. But if I had to make you choose, based on what we just saw, is True Whale going to pull through, or is Sphynx going to close this out and take the win and be our first finalist? Let us know what you think. Spartan. Bro's putting it so frankly right now. Oliver MVP, NLS, I agree. That's the craziest part. So Oliver in that moment was definitely MVP of that game for Sphynx, standing next to a Julian, which is crazy. We had a similar situation to this the other day, actually. And dude, Jug would kill me if he heard me talking about this on Legend Tournament time. But we did the Guardians Club Season 2 tournament finals the other day. And I swear to you, in the finals, which went to a 5th round, Josephine was the MVP monster standing next to a Berghild. The players just traded Josephine back and forth, and it just so happened that she ended up being the game winner. Yeah, Onster's saying, I want that Oliver tested. Dude clearly is on 5 violent runes. What's going on, Gigi? Welcome to the stream. And we got the pre-bans this time. So Pater's benched. Yanhong benched. Funny the way Sphynx is still pre-banning the Yanhong. I felt like he navigated the Yanhong pretty well that last game, but my priorities are different than his. What's up, Jug? Says Josephine sucks. Very in line with what I know to be true about Juggernaut. Next, he's going to be saying buff Celia in chat. This is just like JoJo's. This is just like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I know what you're going to say. Sphynx pulling out the tried and the true. We got the Water Twins, we got the Julian, and the Doman. That is a great choice from True Whale. So that's the unit that's back on the table. And now it's also a great answer to Julianne, because notably that is not a buff. When she puts the Curse of Death on you, that thing ain't blue. That is a purple buff. That means you're stuck with it until you either die or you take down Dooman. It's the only way to get rid of the Curse of Death. Well, I say that, but there is one more way. You can just ban her. So we'll see what Sphynx decides. Oh, True Whale taking his sweet time, figuring out the 4th and the 5th. Aaron in chat pushing his buff ISIS agenda. Is it being received? Yeah, I'll remember that. Oh, it's Voldemort. All right, True Whale picking Zenisek, the Dark Puppeteer. He who shall not be named. He who appeared in the 10x10 banners. His name will not be said again for the rest of this broadcast. Sphynx, just ban it, make it easier for me. And then we got the Viva Chill to round it out towards the end. Oh, and the Zeratul. So chat, I don't know if you agree with me. Zeratul is one of those monsters that just instantly makes a game more hype for me. Just watching those multi-hits pop off. Oh, and just watching Sphynx take it away. Just give me a little bit of that, that Zeratul pleasure, and then just rip it away from me. You can't see it right now, chat, but on the back of my shirt is literally Zeratul. Stargazer, thank you so much. That's so nice. My name's Evan. It's nice to meet you. Psych, says Nelly. Oh, thank God. Voldemort's out. Oliver's out. Honestly, that is a trauma ban. Like, I know the 33 lead is probably what he's banning out because he wanted a chance to outspeed the Sekhmet, perhaps. But to me, banning the Oliver here is a trauma ban. It's like, we saw what that thing popped off with. Oh, and the miss! Oh my God! See, this is the problem. If it makes you... Dude, never mind. I'm not even going to say it. Not even going to watch it. Nightwolf says Sphynx watching the stream. Dude, I don't even want to touch that. It's such a bummer. Sekhmet's got such a fast base speed, so you can't just make Gianna go in front of her. But it's like, I mean, dude, it's just another opportunity to get resisted. Julian can just throw this out raw and still get massive damage in. Thank you, Astasia. Big heart to you as well. Big heart to you. Sekhmet gets another chance, though. Thankfully, because she missed, that means the skill doesn't go on cooldown. Double resist again. This is exactly the sort of behavior that gets you fed to something else. This is totally how you, like, skill up a Hathor with a Sekhmet right here. Like, I swear to God, I would legitimately see her in the power-up circle next. She's off the team. Like that. Curse of Death goes out on Julian. True Whale looking sharp as ever. He kind of just gets to sit there right now, and he's playing Protect the President, and the President is Doman. So you got to be careful. You could throw the hug onto the cigar, honestly, but like this is a great opportunity now for Sphynx to shift focus over to the Dooman. Like just now that he thinks that like he's gotten True Whale comfortable with the fact that he's targeting the cigar, easily just swap it over. Yo, this is a clean kill on the Gianna. This is a really clean kill opportunity on Gianna right here. Viva Chill using skill 3, Song of Switch Destinies, and now Chandra takes a super quick little skill 1 in to confirm that kill. Let's go, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Huge damage. You can just leave him there. You can just leave him there. Look at that. Boom. That's so cute. That was so cute. I don't even know what to say. That was so cute, dude. True Whale used the Death Note. Oh. Yo, wait, chat. You guys watch anime? Wait a minute. Hold on. It's just got more fun. 1-1, baby. I'm putting the coffee down. 1-1. Okay, so let me hear it in chat again. We got the 1 and the 1. We got True Whale versus Sphynx right now. True Whale took that one back. Best of 5. If he wants a win, he's got to do that 2 more times. So we'll see. Makes Viva so much scarier going right after the Bison. That's from Astasia Floyd over on YouTube. Yeah, no, seriously. Because it's like opportunities like that just happen. That felt like Sphynx was having to be the aggressor the entire game. True Whale was kind of just sitting there, was waiting for the window of opportunity, right? And he took advantage of it very well. Great targeting from True Whale, but ultimately those resists really hurt Sphynx. Like we can't just sit here and examine the game and not say that those resists were brutal. Oh, for the folks who were maybe joining in a little late, I'm so sorry. Unfortunately, Topa V wasn't able to join his ISP. I don't know who it was, but I'm not signing up with them. Poor Topa. Again, it is so not his fault. He was here for the tech check, and then he had an internet outage afterwards. Turns out, internet outage afterwards is the hardest sentence I've had to say all day, by the way. That's a very difficult series of words to just bust out. Requires a certain amount of tongue yoga beforehand to just kind of warm up. I shouldn't try that while I'm cold. I should try that when I'm warm instead. Wrote in the death note, baby. Gotta go plus ultra. Oh my god. The chat's full of weebs. This is amazing. Oh my god, it's 12:52 in the AM, and I'm watching some of the best RTA we could see in the entire season with a bunch of weebs. My people, I love this. Jeffrey says he unplugged the internet. Nah, dude, that's Spectrum coming through. Sent out a hit squad to his house and unplugged the internet. Unplugged the router. Doman, obviously pre-banned. We don't want to see that again. Oliver pre-banned. The True Whale still feeling the hurt that Oliver threw down on him in round 1. And honestly, me too. I haven't forgot. I forgive and I don't forget. 4 a.m. out here from Sheppy. 4 a.m. for Jeffrey. Oh my god, is that 4 p.m. for Rank Red? Dude, I don't know where you're at that's 4 p.m., but like, dude, I wish I were you right now. It's not 4 p.m. for me, says J-Mac. True Whale's bringing a little something different this time with a Nikki to provide that attack buff, some cleanse, and some good heal blocks actually too. Sometimes those come in handy. They are only vaguely handy in this game considering there's only one source of healing on the Water Twin Angels. But we'll see what's going on. Sphynx bringing back the tried and true ? Sonya. I forget, if I'm being completely honest, chat, I forget how the Sonya worked out for him. Oh, that's right. It was banned. This is exactly the situation we were in before. You throw down a Leo and I remember it took like 15 seconds to just ban the 2. What? Oh my god. This is bold. True Whale going for something different here. He's going just for the outspeed. King of Fun, thank you. That's really nice. You're so sweet, dude. 12 noon. Oh my god. If only it was 12 noon for me. Yonhong takes turn 1. Here we go. The boost on Cigar. This is the huge setup. This is what True Whale was banking on. That is the sort of gamble that only True Whale can do. He got the pushback on almost everybody that matters. You wish you'd see it on Sekhmet, but to be honest, with this sort of payoff, you're not tripping about it. Yonhong gets insane crit damage on the Sonya, notably not glancing, because she was faster. Not an auto crit like her sister Mi Yang. She actually has to work for that. That's just straight up rune quality, baby. You get a little glance on the Sonya, but you don't care. You go for the sleep. Yeah. Unfortunately, the little bit of attack bar she gained from Chandra is pushing her ahead. You get an ignore defense. Not enough to kill. The True Whale, the true rune quality, locking down the kill on the Sonya. Now, all of a sudden, it is just a Julienne. It's just a Julienne that is threatening True Whale right now. The Yonhong is down. That means we have one source of cleanse and sustain in the Nikki, and she's got to proc into it. Can he get a sleep? Oh, he gets the sleep! Gets the sleep. Skill 2. He's back in business. He's now back in control of this game. We have a moment to pause. Sekhmet finally getting to be here again. Dude, she is legitimately she is going to be used to like skill up a Hathor. I swear to God. Like, it's over. I know I'm saying the same thing twice. This is it. Ultra Deathlord. It's kind of a tie. It's like, I love Hunter x Hunter 2011. I love JJK Season 2, and I love One Piece. Ding. Gets the kill on the Water Twin Angels. True Whale now in a position where he can just flat out kill the Julian. He takes it. And that's another point on the board for True Whale. Oh my god. Dude. OnStar said, gosh, I hate Sekhmet. I couldn't agree more. But dude, I know what Sphynx is feeling right now. Sekhmet. Chat, let me hear your feelings about Sekhmet while I take a sip of this coffee. Just drop me like a line or two about what your experience has been with Sekhmet. If you have one and you're disappointed in her, if you've ever been looking down the barrel of a loaded Sekhmet and you've been grateful that you double rezzed her, let me know that too. But either way, I'm taking a sip. Those are really good picks. Thank you, Ultra Death Lord. What are your favorite animes? Why are you alone, bro? Dude, I'm so sorry, by the way, chat. So sorry that I ended up alone tonight, but please know that it's nobody's fault. Topa unfortunately had an internet outage, and it is not estimated to come back actually for an hour and 15 minutes from now. So it is unfortunate. I'm flying solo, and Nadim is asking if I'm watching Solo Leveling. You know, I watched season 1, and I'm hyped for season 2 if there is one. I'm also hyped for what is potentially the last game in the first set of the RTA Season 31 Legend Tournament. We got True Whale versus Sphynx. True Whale up a point. That does put him at match point right now. If he wins one more time, he's our first finalist. And I would expect nothing else from the America's Cup champion of SWC 2024. Again, you see that rank 1 as best by True Whale's name? He's already done this, dude. He's been to the Legend Tournament. He's done it twice. Season 17 and 23, they belong to him in the Hall of Fame. Those are his seasons, and he's trying to make 31 the next in line. Jason Derulo. Siri. Gigi's like putting in a Siri command in chat right now. Siri, please play Riding Solo by Jason Derulo. Evan Derulo. All right. That's enough Derulo for now, and we're back in the pre-bans. Pater's gone. So Pater keeps getting pre-banned, and Sphynx did bring Pater in the last Legend Tournament, but he has not made an appearance this time. I don't even know if Pater is on Sphynx's radar of things to pick like right now. It's super impressive stats from True Whale. That's from Instu said that those were impressive stats on YouTube chat, and they really are. The dude's an incredible player. Like, he has such a, obviously his rune quality is high, his knowledge of the game is high, he has insane presence at all these events. Like, he has the tournament experience. And if you watch SWC or you watch the Legend tournaments, you know that's something that we kind of like throw around, you know, the tournament experience. And it's kind of different playing in a digital format for sure, but it helps you to keep your nerves because, you know, these players up here as the top 4, you know that this is inherently different from just farming the ladder. There is so much on the line right now. Your name is literally put in the game. This is your season. It's put in there in the Hall of Fame for everyone to see. True Whale taking the Sekhmet after today's performance of Sekhmet. I don't know about this, but you know what? I trust him. He's going for turn 1. He's picking really fast units. He took the Oliver this time. So he locked down the 33%. He picked the Miles, high damage unit with good speed. So he's kind of covering his bases here. Let's see how Sphynx replies. Sphynx going crazy, reached all the way into TOA and pulled out an Achroma and also a Xingxie. The Xingxie is actually making a lot of positive change. Wait, let me reform that sentence. Xingxie has impressed a lot of people following the last balance patch, myself included. I count myself as one of those people. So now whenever he counterattacks someone, based off of his passive, by the way, this does not trigger off of Revenge Runes. Whenever he counterattacks based off of passive, he will attempt to strip a buff. And that just happens. There's no activation chance. Just the fact that he's doing it, it activates. Astasia says, yeah, I think people need to pivot bans more. It's pretty obvious during best of 5 when they have moved their best Swift to a new unit because they know the Zabal, etc. is going to get pre-banned. So in this situation, I really like the way that both of these players have kind of pivoted. I think True Whale slightly more than Sphynx, but we'll see what's happening because ultimately I think the Achroma is so like dramatic, but at the same time she's really just a wall of HP. Excuse me, chat, I'm choking on myself right now. And then we got the T on Lang to try to cut the attack bar gain from some of these units in half. Rukuni is left alone without his partner, Miles. Miles and Rukuni kind of found their 15 minutes of fame a couple seasons ago. They were real good. King of Fun says no swearing here, guys. Yeah, not well. At least not for me. I mean, it depends what kind of swear. I don't know. It depends. It's great. All right. Ultra Death Lord says Evan Daddy, dude. Appreciate you, Ultra Death Lord. Oh, it sounds like, is Topa here? Is Topa back?
I am back. Can you hear me?
Oh my God, it's Topa!
I made
What's
it.
Good on Topa?
We're here.
Welcome back, dude. How are you?
Oh man, dude. I mean, I'm better now that I have internet. That was wild. But
have you canceled that ISP?
Not yet. I think
that's hilarious. Dude, I'm glad you're here. Say hi to folks in chat. We've been having a great time.
Yeah. I was watching stream on my phone and glad to be here.
Awesome. Well, so now we find ourselves again, match point for True Whale. If he wins this one, he moves on to be our first finalist. So far, since you've seen some of the games, what are your takeaways from like Sphynx's gameplay?
Well, that segment,
Yeah, I know.
No, True Whale is the one with the segment, and it's actually working. So I don't know. That's looking nice for him here.
Dude, the segment was so disappointing for me. Like, I've never related to a player in a Legend tournament more than in that moment. In those multitude of moments, unfortunately.
Yeah, I saw Raigeki in chat as well saying how the only way True Whale loses if he's, Sphynx doesn't have the segment. But, True Whale's still looking very strong here, having the Rukuni heals as well. Sphynx doesn't have a healer here, so he's slowly just taking him out here.
He is. And now, considering that there's no cleanse on the side of Sphynx, all of a sudden Tian Lang siphoning that attack bar from things like Rukuni and Oliver is working its way up to a manual detonation of that bomb.
Yeah, definitely. Sekhmet, not only having that very strong skill 3 with that reset, if it lands, has that very influential skill 2 as well, as we can see from all those debuffs out there, as well as with additional damage, you can do a solid amount of damage with that. True Whale is definitely in full control here.
Oh yeah. He is definitely dictating the flow of this game, and he's been doing that for a couple rounds now. Dude is so talented. As soon as he finds his flow, he just doesn't give any opportunity to his opponent.
Yeah, definitely. It's great to see True Whale performing this well. And he went out pretty early. Having a really tough opponent in SWC as well. He's definitely still got it. Still in top form here.
Oh yeah, clearly still got it. Trying to make season 31 his own. I mean, just look at Sphynx's side. It's at this point that you really start to realize that he has no sustain. And that's kind of what I meant, Topa, when I was saying that, like, as much as I love the dramatic appeal of a Chroma, she's just HP. She's not really contributing too much else.
Yeah, that's always the issue with a Chroma. A lot of people really wanting, her to get some sort of self-healing. And even if you build her on Vampire, her skill 2 doesn't actually give you any life leech, because it's based on enemies max HP, which doesn't give you life leech.
Oh, that's such a good point. That's something that people often forget, myself included. Like, that does not synergize well with that. Oh, Senior Penguin King, that's brutal. Oh no, I think he's doing a great job, all things considered. Like, True Whale again has a lot of accolades behind him. He's just trying to collect another, and boom, huge stun on the whole enemy team from Sphynx.
Yeah, Gianna with, that Burst skill 3 didn't get the stun on the Trandra there, but definitely got enough. And I mean, this game has been over for a little bit here. We're just waiting for the remaining units on Sphynx side to drop here.
Yeah, if we were allowed to run emotes in here, you know what I'd be saying. Time to break out the bow.
Yeah. Well played, the Sphynx, game. Taking that one point off True Whale, but True Whale will be our first finalist here.
Oh, congratulations to True Whale. Moving forward, filling out that first finalist slot with the reverse sweep. I think that was 3 games in a row that he just won. That's so crazy. So indicative of True Whale style. So, like, Topa, you've played against True Whale before. What's it like going head to head with him?
It's scary, just knowing like the rune quality, the monster pool depth, what he has. He has so many options. It's really hard to prepare for him. He can take it so many different play styles, so many units, and it's difficult.
He navigates a game so well, because like we were talking, we were being kind of funny about the Oliver, right? We were saying, oh, it's a trauma ban, it did a lot. Well, he kind of alternated his approach on how to get rid of it. It's like he banned it, he pre-banned it, and then all of a sudden he started taking it and brought an entirely different comp. And it's like you're saying, you really have a hard time, you as like a general people have a hard time playing against him because you don't know what he's going to bring.
Yeah, definitely. He able to use all of those mods to very great effect, and sounds like we'll be going to a break here.
Yes, so guys, stick with us for a little while. We've got more games coming at you from RTA Season 31 Legend Tournament. We'll be right back. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the RTA Season 31 Legend Tournament. I'm still Evan, and I'm now joined at the table by Topa V. What's going on, man? Welcome back.
Yep, we are here. Glad to be here. Apologies again on my behalf for being absent for that first round, but yeah, it's not my fault. I would like to say
it's definitely not your fault. You are so good, man. I've made it perfectly clear. It is the ISP. It's not your fault at all, but I'm so glad you're back, and this time for the next round in the semifinals. Here we are with the highlights from that first round, though. We got Sphynx versus True Whale. Sphynx managed to clean up 1 point from True Whale over there, Topa, but then after that, True Whale just never let him have another one for the rest of the set.
Yeah, Sphynx got off to a very strong start there, taking that first game, but True Whale not phased by that and just taking the next 3 games and having a dominating victory overall.
Yeah, he just, like, True Whale just came right in after that, like, locked in. He was like, oh, I understand it now. And then he just took it to go. It was really well played from him. I'm excited to see more of True Whale in the finals. And you and I were chatting about it before. And again, for the folks who may not know, like, the history here too, True Whale's already got 2 legend victories, and he may be the only one, right? As far as he might be the only one that's got a legend win here. Correct us if we're wrong, though, chat.
Yeah, we'll see that as we get in the next game here too. Unless obviously very, very accomplished players. Pooh being the APAC champion for SWC this year, and Lest obviously the giant regional champion and runner-up, and obviously 2-time SWC winner. So even though they may not have the legend badge next to their name, they're very, very accomplished players, and I mean everyone knows that.
Exactly. That's such a good point. It isn't that number 1 that makes you deserving of being here. It just shows that you have been through this tournament before. Like, all these players are so strong. And just to bring it back to the highlights for a second, I love that they highlighted the Sekhmet. Oh, dude. Looking back at it too, though, Sekhmet didn't do herself any favors. It's like the cigar. Okay, it's kind of unfortunate, a little bit of bad luck, right? But like when you go after a Nikki, you kind of expect Nikki's to be 100% res most of the time, right, Topa?
Yeah, but then again, you expect Sekhmet to be max accuracy as well. So you're still running that 15% res check, and it's just unfortunate not landing that.
Exactly. It happens, right? It's like acontece, Linjin, right? As we'd say in Portuguese, right? So, as it would be, True Whale has moved forward. He's now our first finalist. We still have to decide who our second one will be. And our last 2 players that are going to be fighting in the second round of the semifinals, Pooh and Lest. So we were talking a bit about this APAC champion from SWC 2024, Pooh. And Topa, we were kind of talking about how he may not have been on people's radar before this year.
Yeah, he even had a different name before, obviously, like Pooh LD. Was his name before, and not that many people know him. He was in G3. Obviously, he qualified for SWC with that as well. But now, these past few seasons, he's been dominating the ladder. He's been. I know he qualified here as the number 2 seed, but he's been number 1 for most of the season. This season, last season, I believe the season before that even. So excited to see what he brings to the table here today.
Oh my gosh! Look at that. What is Lest cooking up for us right now, dude?
He's got like a shot. Okay.
Yeah, he has something like really cooking for us right now. Shahat, I think the name is, right? This is the one that deals with dots, I remember.
Yep, and that seems to have stumbled Pooh a little bit here too. He took a long time to take his first 2 picks there, but going for the drawn, the Sekhmet coming out again. We'll see how this one performs.
Yeah, maybe this one will do a little bit better. So Lest presenting a very debuff heavy comp. So this is kind of an invitation for Pooh to try to bring something like the famous counter picks if he wants. He takes a half measure, tries to go for turn 1 here again because he's now locked in the Etna and the Sekhmet. So he's really fiending for that turn 1. And he also brings the cleanse that Nikki offers Topa.
Yeah, definitely. That the Etna pick, I'm not a huge fan of. There's already a fire unit on the side of Lest and the Tomoe, as well as the Hey Gang, which is a really strong counter against the Etna, preventing that turn 1 stun. And Nikki is a fine pick in my opinion, providing that cleanse. Obviously, like as you mentioned, there's very heavy debuff team from Lest, and now he runs up with the immunity as well as another fire unit, in the Villagel, as well as the Elanoa.
Yeah, so do you think that maybe the pick for the Etna was maybe signaling a ban on the Hey Gang?
It might be, but then like playing for that is really, really risky when the opponent still has 2 more picks. And now, Pooh rounding it out with that Sonia and is really not letting his foot off the gas there. Just going full steam ahead in that turn 1.
And he decides instead to just kind of knock out the debuff comp right at its core. Just knock out the tome away, take out all of the spreading debuffs, take out the speed lead too, and just leave it with a res lead.
Yeah, that's also the only attack bar reduction on the side of Lest here. So now, the Nikki might be able to cut in. There's also no reset. So we'll see if the Nikki can capitalize here.
That's a very good observation. Gets a lot of good damage in on the Illinois. Of course, the stun is going to be cleansed up by the Heigang passive shortly after that. Gets the strip and 2 very clutch stuns there, Topa.
Yeah, this is, as I mentioned, this is the issue of Efna into a Heigang. You get that turn 1, but then you strip and stun something, and that's going to give a lot of bar to the opposing team.
Exactly. It's like maybe if we just wanted to do some damage, something else could have possibly been a better choice here. We'll have to see if Pooh sticks with this strat when he sees the Heigang in the future and might choose to go away from it. Oh, and you hate to see it, dude. The stun, a despair stun from a despair Illinois right there.
And the segment doing the classic segment, just completely missing the reset. But, Les is getting quite lucky here. This is a lot of despair stuns coming through. That Nikki did not have a chance.
Yeah, this is a lot. Yeah, Pooh never got an opportunity to actually get a strategy online, and that's it. I'd say that kill, that is Les securing round number 1, and now Pooh is gonna kind of got to reassess a little bit. This is so like Les Topa. It's like every time I see him, he's cooking up something new.
Yeah, definitely. This is. I said that earlier against or about True Whale. So hard to prepare against him, but Lest is just that on another level. Because with True Will, he's probably gonna play some of the strong meta units, but then with Lest, he creates the meta a lot of the time. We've seen after this year's SWC, we've seen a lot of people playing more Jongnam than less busted on the SWC. Maybe partly due to the single buff, but last year it was very prevalent with the Chandra, Sekhmet, Charlotte. Les brought out, and he definitely cleans this up here and takes the first game.
And I completely agree with what you said. I think if you wanted to call Les, if you wanted to give him some kind of title out there, I think it'd have to be something in line with a pioneer. He's really out there trying to push the meta forward. He's experimenting with different monsters, which kind of puts him in a weird spot because you realize that he's building the meta and then he's kind of deconstructing it. So now he's in a place where he's trying to counter what he has put into motion. So it's it's kind of a funny relationship, isn't it?
Yeah, and you saw that with the first pick there as well, already just picking out the win back, the Shahat first pick, and then Pooh, he took him 22 seconds, I saw the clock, 22 seconds to pick his first 2 picks, so he was really just confused in what Les is doing, and that's definitely one of his greatest strengths here. Yeah,
and I wouldn't blame him if he was reading what he's doing, because that's not a monster that you encounter all the time. We're familiar with seeing things like Asher out there, instead, the fire brother to Shahat instead. And now we see the pre-bans going out for round number 2 here. Oliver is going to take the pre-ban as well as the Heigang. And again, Topa, you shouted out the Heigang as a real problem point for Pooh in that last game, and it seems like he agrees.
Yeah, I definitely do like the Heigang pre-ban there. That was definitely a thorn in his side, just completely countering the Efna. And honestly, after less cutting after that, Pooh just didn't have a chance after. He barely got even turns. And
and the silver and the Jongnam. This is the Les staple of the year. This is what he brought to Worlds at SWC 2024 finals in Japan.
Yeah, it definitely is. This is what he cooked up, and we get to see more of it here now. And this could have been a matchup in the SWC, by the way. Pooh and Les were on the same side of the bracket, but then Ismu did take out Pooh there. But this is maybe Pooh knows how to deal with this a little bit now. We'll see.
It has gotten some airtime, as part of being in World Finals. That means people have gotten to see it on full display. The silver with the massive speed lead, everything that he can bring, as well as the AoE suppress. It's kind of a cool unit.
Yeah, definitely cool and unique unit. Another 33 speed lead there, and Les seems to know exactly what he's doing. He's picking super fast here, not giving Pooh any time to think. He only has his 30 seconds. He's really running the clock down here. And we'll see what he rounds out his draft here with.
Whoa. The Fire Megumi.
It's a very strong counter against the AoE units. I mean, it's not... I think it's a fine pick, especially getting that second speed lead. And, you know, Pooh also fighting for that turn 1. But then Shiwu does have that glancing that makes the Fire Megumi a bit less consistent.
Yeah, that's true, because he's offering a stun, and then he's also got a pretty valuable skill 1 that applies both an attack break and a defense break. But he's really cycling attack bar, and he's a great speed lead option as well. Wrapping up a Juno in that last slot of the draft for Lest. That's a great choice. Offers the strip, it can remove the bomb and the stun that Gianna's trying to apply to her. And you mentioned Lest is picking super fast. It's like he's not even replying to Pooh necessarily, except for maybe the Juno pick. He just seems to have a plan in his mind, and he's just carrying it out regardless of what his opponent's bringing.
Yeah, I do really like the Juno pick here as well. You know, it's almost able to solo the entire team of Pooh here, honestly, especially with that Belgian ban. Now there's no sustain on the side of Pooh, so that Juno is, especially if it's built on Vampire, I think Vampire Juno would literally just completely solo this entire team.
Wait a minute, that's a wild point. I think you're right. There's not a lot here that can deal the damage to her with no variance, right? Because Etna can do the damage. Etna can deal damage, but she's going to have that variance of glancing because of the off-element relationship. So it's like this is a situation where Juno could totally like just solo these 4 monsters.
Yeah, it is not a Vampire Juno, so I have to assume that it's the more common Despair build here. But you know that also dishing out a bunch of damage like this Etna is, as you mentioned, it's a volatile damage dealer against the Juno. But it's already lost about 40% of her health.
And the glancing on top means no defense breaks are going to get applied. Look at this. She glanced on everybody. Sheer healing people up, and you also noticing that Pooh was kind of hesitant earlier to use skill 3. He's doing it now because I think Ashir's already kind of healed, and there's now a buff incentive so that she can strip it. Etna goes down.
Yeah, that was super fortunate for Les, you know, that Escher hanging on for dear life with that 1 HP and then getting that heal off. So much value from the heal as well as the speed buff. And now Pooh is definitely on the back foot here, already losing that F9. You know, I mean, as I mentioned, this Juno is going to be a really difficult monster for him to deal with.
That's going to be a thorn in Pooh's side for the rest of the game. He's throwing bombs out, but it's at this point where he's probably starting to think like, wait, how do I kill this Juno? Like that's kind of going in on his head right now.
Yeah, he definitely recognized that. You know, he already did use that Gianna S1 on the Juno. Obviously, that does do some decent damage, especially if you're built on the additional damage and then no debuffs there. So trying to, you know, even more damage putting this Juno and actually doing pretty good damage.
And this is where you got to go in on her. See, that's a slight thing. You kind of got. I think you kind of have to go in on the Juno at every opportunity you get. She's already going to be healing a little bit. As you just got to take what you can with all anything that doesn't apply a debuff.
Yeah, I agree. I think you can use the Gianna bombs to get rid of other units here, and then just throw all the, you know, the Gianna S1s in the Juno. But he's opting against that right now.
Yeah, because now he's starting to realize too. It's like, again, you know, it's like really Gianna's skill 1 is the main thing that can combat this Juno. She's down, and now there's going to be a little bit of healing at the top of whatever this is. Oh my god, wait, Chandra has an opportunity.
Oh, that was so close. You know, I guess the speed tuning is actually definitely working in Pooh's favor here, you know, getting that Megumi moving right in front of this Chandra, and yeah, Chandra does have the damage, all right.
That's so good for Pooh. See, that was the window. That was the one window he had. Megumi defense break into Chandra skill 1, guaranteed crit, go for the damage on the Juno. That was perfect speed tuning that didn't end up getting cut by anything.
Yeah, that was maybe a little bit of a lucky break as well for Pooh, you know, obviously Megumi getting that attack bar manipulated when other units are being hit, so having it, you know, work out that perfectly, and Megumi also has a really low chance of defense break under that skill 1, so but either way, you know, that Chandra did do some incredible damage in the end. And
yeah, it did.
You know,
well played. And also, I credit him for hanging on. You know, it's like this is the Legend Tournament is not a place where you bottom left. You know, this isn't a place where you just quit the game before anything, right? You know, it's like you just kind of wait it out, see what anything could happen, right? When you have a counter pick of the quality of something like Juno, or if you have something that auto crits like a Chandra on the other side, you just wait and see what happens. So we're going into round 3 right now. So Topa, looking at this, what do you think Lest is going to do to kind of change up his draft? Or do you think he keeps it the same?
I really like Less draft. He potentially has the Hagang available here as well, so might be just leaning towards that game 1 draft a bit more. But then I also did like that game 2 draft. Pooh, I guess Pooh did have actually enough damage on his units, take out that Juno in the end, and wasn't as phenomenal of a counter pick as I initially thought. But we'll see what they do here.
Jongnam soaking up the pre-ban, and Gianna's out this time too. Les doesn't want to have to deal with that again, and I don't blame him. I don't blame him after that stint. Let's see. He's actually really considering this first pick. I think this is the longest we've seen Les take.
And this might be longer. He's thinking longer about this first pick than he thought about the entire draft last game. So
for real, I don't think we saw him take 20 seconds like this. No, not the segment. That's dude. Oh, well, you know what? Maybe it'll do better.
Yeah, I mean, Segment is such an influential unit, though, if she lands, right? But the chance of landing, I mean, it is high. It is a 72% chance to land on a build-up unit, that double rest check. But if she lands, which she does most of the time, that is a very, very strong skill 3 she has.
It is. There's a reason why you pick her regardless of like the danger that comes with missing that skill 3, right? It's because the potential payoff is so high. And I will say that, like, you're banking a lot on that skill 3, but Sekhmet's skill 3 is more forgiving than the average monsters, considering it doesn't go on cooldown if you miss. Whoa. What is Lest is cooking up something with damage. He's hovering between some high impact monsters, between the Asher and the Julian, and decides to go for his dot experiment instead.
Yeah, bringing back the Hagang as well from the game 1. It did well for him. And but Lest is maybe taking things a bit more serious now too. He definitely ran that clock down and thinking about his picks here. And Pooh is obviously playing very meta here, with the Chandra and the Velajul. We'll see if he brings out a cigar as well. Tian Lang
exactly. Right now. He's taking no chances, and I think there is something to be said for playing what you're comfortable with, right? It's like if you've been playing Chandra Velajul and you are very comfortable with them, you probably have some of your best runes on them. It's like you may not want to drift too far from what you know unless you have to.
Oh, absolutely. That's where you're comfortable with. You play this, so you know a lot of the counter picks and how to counter, then the counters and all that stuff. So it's definitely a lot of very intricate play there. But now Les is just going for 2 very, very strong solo water units here almost.
And what a great opportunity to pick them, because when you look at Pooh's side, right, these monsters are at parity with everything. They are at worst element neutral. So that's so good. Also, he picked something that, like, so you want to ban the Smicer now, but it's obvious that he's just going to ban the last pick for whatever. Chow's gone, Camilla stays, and now we've got a speed lead here. Can Lest push for that turn 1 with the high base speed from Sekhmet? She gets it.
Very nice, yeah. I'm a bit surprised to see the Chow getting the ban over the Camilla. I thought Camilla is a lot more difficult for Pooh to deal with here, since the Chandra is an auto crit, right? And we saw the amount of damage that Chandra was able to dish out in the last game against that Juno. So I really thought that he would be leveraging this Chandra as well as the Tian Lang to be taking out, the Chow. But I think Camilla is going to be a lot more difficult to deal with, and it's also going to be healing the rest of the team. So it's going to take him longer to get to that point.
That is super problematic. And you pointed out something that I had initially not taken into consideration, which is that she's going to be reducing the incoming damage from the auto crit of this Chandra. I thought that was a really good point that you said. It's like, so that means that she's got more longevity even than Chow is potentially presenting. But maybe perhaps Pooh was afraid of like the big damage, like just taking out the Juno out of nowhere, something like that. Look at that, whittling it down. Pooh taking the first kill of the match. Sekhmet is down. All of a sudden, Lest is at a monster deficit here.
Yeah, that's a great point here. Chow obviously does do a lot more damage, and maybe, with the Velajul heal, obviously Pooh knowing that his last pick was getting banned, maybe Velajul does have enough sustain to out-sustain this Camilla damage, and we'll see how it pans out here.
Let's see, because right now, the tempo is making it look as if it's in Pooh's favor, right? But now you start to see the damage coming out of the Shahat on Les' side, and also you think about the longevity that Camilla is providing in the late game. So let's see how this pans out. I don't want to do an early call. I was calling it early last time and saying, oh, Juno this, how do you feel the Juno? And we were surprised. Yep. Maybe Pooh's got something in the bag.
Yeah, I mean, this Chandra is going to be dropping here, but so is Shahat. So, that is definitely one of the bigger sources of damage, even with the auto crit on the Camilla. So,
yeah, so this is a much more difficult situation. Basically, the way that this has to work out, right? After he's done whittling away at the Hagang, right? Looking ahead to the future, the Tian Lang's kind of got to land a non-critting defense break on the Camilla. And then Veligul needs to crit or do something or just deal, anything, right? So we got step 1. An unfortunate proc gets it cleansed though.
Yep. Oh man, but just the additional damage. Yeah, the sheer additional damage is. I guess this is just the weakness of Camilla, right? Like, it just doesn't do enough.
So in there you made a really good point. So it's like at the end, it's not even like the defense break window. It's just you see what those artifacts are pumping out from Tian Lang, and it's like boom, Camilla doesn't even have to worry about it because it's not a crit, right? There's nothing she can do about the additionals. Okay, exactly. Well, good showing.
Yeah, like that Tian Lang just got a Violent proc, and then one Juno S1 and Camilla's lost half her health. Like, what happened?
Crazy. The additionals on these artifacts. I wish that I could like bring up an image of these artifacts, but obviously we wouldn't want to necessarily show that until the tournament's over or anything. But it's like, I'd love to see the numbers on those additional damage stats. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's, it's so difficult to have like a solo unit in this current meta of like, you see all those supports and like somewhat low damage units, but then you just go in the game and then you're just surprised like every time how those low damage units can still just provide some incredible damage.
Do you think the ban needed to change for the outcome of the game to be different? Like, do you think maybe the Tian Lang was more problematic than Lest was giving it credit for? Or excuse me, then yeah, you know what I mean.
No, I think Lest just kind of poor drafting in the last 2 picks in hindsight, right? Like, we both thought there were pretty strong solo water units there, but just soloing at this level of play, it just doesn't happen when everyone has such good runes. So.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've seen a good solo in a state of a game like this. You're right, because like the artifact quality, the rune quality is so high. It's like all these units just incidentally do enough damage that they can kind of take down what you traditionally think to be a solo monster.
Yeah, that's like exactly what we saw. Even the Juno game, right? Like I was calling it like, ooh, Juno looks like she could solo here. And then Pooh just has the rune quality to say, no, it doesn't.
Yeah.
And then same in the last game, we said, ooh, Ciao Camilla, maybe they can solo. And then
maybe they're going to.
Daughter shot.
I'm going to stop saying things can solo because you know what? I don't think it's going to happen. I think what we're going to need is just like outright synergy. Like maybe it would have been better if Les just kind of leaned into the debuff strat or something like that, tried to bring the tome away. I don't know, something there. Well, we're going back to Silver and Jongnam because Jongnam's no longer pre-banned.
Yeah, and Les definitely knew he wanted to pick that because that was lightning fast again. And
that's when you know he's in the zone.
Yep, Veligul is pre-banned from Pooh's side here, so he's down 1 comfort pick. We'll see. Probably going to take the Gianna here. Yeah, and the Sekhmet for, Sekhmet has been working pretty well in this set between these 2 players.
Yeah, very good call. We're not seeing like a Hagang or anything. I was anticipating a Hagang, but it seems like when Lest picks the Silver and the Jongnam, it's always followed by the Chiwu and the Eshir. So that's like his preferred style of play to support those first 2 picks.
Yeah, well, the Hagang is in the pre-ban, so we won't be seeing him in this game.
Oh, thank you. I didn't even notice that down there. That's my bad, chat.
Yeah, this is actually the same exact draft from the game too. So we'll see. Last time was the Juno last pick that I really liked, but didn't work out in the end. So we'll see. Maybe, as you mentioned, you just gotta pick a more cohesive team altogether. But Les is going back to it.
Oh, he goes back to the counter pick. But he's really considering this Juno, right? Because she didn't exactly live up to expectations last time. But it does. Again, I'm stuck, Topa. I don't know. It looks like a not bad situation for Juno. Like if I was in the spot, I'd be picking Juno too. But I don't know. What are your thoughts?
No, I don't blame him. Yeah, I guess it's a slightly different draft now. I forget who else was on Pooh's team last time. There was the Fire Megumi there, as well as I think one other unit that got banned. I believe it was actually no, I think Sekhmet got banned last time. But either way, yeah, like the draft is slightly different. Maybe there's a bit more wind units with the Efna and Oliver now, so Juno might be even better now, and also banning the Gianna.
Yeah, I suppose we'll review the tapes when the highlight reel comes around. We'll do that. And Yeah, so this time we got the Jongnam through as well. We're going in. Folks in chat, Pooh is potentially a game point. We could be in a position where we're seeing a True Whale versus Pooh finals right now, but it is all on Lest. Does Lest have what it takes to shut this down? Etna doesn't have what it takes to get that Escher to 50% there, Topa.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't. I mean, it was close. Pretty unfortunate missing the stun there, but Pooh, that 33% speed lead, definitely, just double outspeeding Lest here, and still getting that reset of the segment, so not in a terrible position.
Yeah, now Oliver can still go for stuff. Luckily, glancing doesn't really bother him too much, considering he's not necessarily like targeting the unit itself. He's more so targeting their skills in a weird way. Then we got the cycling built in, a despair stun too.
Yeah, Jongnam, Juno getting the stun on the Efna, and then Jongnam with the violent proc getting the freeze on the Chandra, and Efna just disappears. That is a very, very low HP Efna.
And this is where you can tell that Lest is really this is his comp right now. He's locked in on this. He feels comfortable. He's picking fast, outside of the 5th pick. But it's this is the core that he'd prefer to play with.
Yeah, and obviously as strong as the Juno was here as well, I mean, this time it didn't come down to Juno. This game is looking to be quite over at this point, The Oliver is nearly down. There's no sustain. There's the hug. Come out and protected it for a little bit, but not going to delay this for too long.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. And the stun on top, that's just icing. It's this is a different situation than before where last time we were anticipating for Juno to solo. She doesn't have to solo right now. She's got all the support in the world. Lest team is looking more or less kind of healthy, Escher's looking a little low, but honestly, this is nothing that can't secure the game for him.
Yeah. Let's not even caring about that defend. It just went right for the Oliver anyways, and then even stunned it. And now he seems to have decided to switch to the Chandra here and getting another very fortunate stun, but not like it matters at this point in the game.
Yeah, that's true. It reminds me of when we kind of talk about violent procs in terms of lucky procs, but then there's things that I like to call expeditious procs, where it's the game's already over, let's just speed this up. And the same can kind of be true for despair stuns. It's this game's already over. That despair stun was not the thing that locked that down. Really well played from Lest. Now we're going to a game 5.
We are. That's super exciting. We can see right there in that game too, maybe what Lest did wrong in the game 2 against Pooh, that Pooh did end up winning, not banning the Gianna. Gianna, not banning. even though it got nerfed, I think it's still one of the strongest monsters in RTA. So now you put the respect and ban that Gianna, and having great success there.
Yeah, you could tell that it's the buff was, to me, I didn't see a whole lot of outrage towards the nerf of Gianna in the most recent balance patch after she was buffed in the previous one. People are still playing her. It's this really seems like it was the missing part of her kit, so much so that the nerf didn't impact her usability. People are still bringing her in the same situations. They're still trusting her. One of the best, if not the best, LB5 out there right now.
Yeah. Now she has as much as we joke on segment and her inconsistency, Gianna is actually an AoE segment now on that skill tree. If there's no buffs, it's an 85% and then 15% chance to get resist, so it's basically a double rest check, and it comes out to that 72% chance of landing the stun, which is the same as segment land the reset. But either way, we're going to a game 5 here, and the Jongnam and Tianlang are pre-banned.
Let's see how these folks carry it out in this last one. So Lest is going back to the Wind Desert Warrior, the Shahat, as we've seen before. This is the one that deals additional damage based on the dots or the debuffs applied. We got Pooh locking in the Chandra and the Velajul, which have been tried and true for him. He's been picking these two as the first picks for a while. Seems to really like them, and less continuing the debuff comp there, Topa.
Yeah, the Hagen is available, and let's going back to that game 1 debuff comp here that he ran. And Pooh, also did have the same response again. Actually, no. Last time he had a Chandra and a Sekhmet response to that Shahat, so maybe getting a bit more protection with that Velajul, the immunity and the cleanse.
And then the Nikki and the Etna. I like the return of the Nikki here, but I can't help but feel a sense of deja vu, because we have had a situation where the Etna was in the same match as a Hagang, and it did not work out well for Pooh.
Yeah, I don't like that. Last time, those were actually the same exact response that he had to the Hagen Tomoe pick. Last time, obviously, he had that he had the segment in place, the Bella Jewel, but still like going with the Nikki. And yeah, as you mentioned, the F-Nice just doesn't feel that influential in the Hey Gang.
It almost feels like you have to ban the Hey Gang to justify the pick of the Edna, and it's just, there's still 2 picks left at the point when she's being drafted, so it just feels too early. Lest bringing out a Cavallo Shach, bringing out the Diana to round that out. That's a cool pick at the end.
Yeah, we don't see that a lot, but there's 3 AoEs on the side of Pooh, so definitely a strong unit there. And I mean, Pooh again picking up the Sonya, which will likely get banned.
I would think that Lest would prioritize the Sonya ban here, but I can't help but wonder what's taking so long. Somebody's really putting a lot of thought in here, so that makes me think that it's not Hey Gang getting banned. Is what I was gonna say.
Yeah, this is just looks way too much like the game 1. Like again, Tomoe ban, Sonya ban, those are actually the same bans from game 1 as well. And now Zefna taking the turn 1, and I mean, we'll see what it does.
So it can kind of shred through some Diana HP. Hey Gang will cleanse it up. Again, that sense of deja vu is it's prevalent, chat. Like, I'm feeling it. Can Diana pump out enough damage to justify this? 75% of Etna's health is gone.
Yeah, and Shaha is following up, so that is that Efna is just gone. Like, this is what I mean. Like, you pick the Efna and the Hey Gang, sure, you get turn 1. You got, what, 30%, 35% of Diana's health? Like, your Efna's gone. So like it's not a very good trade in the end.
Exactly, and now Pooh is just going to be sitting here struggling to just kind of crawl back into this game here by getting some procs from the Nikki, cleansing some stuff up, but ultimately Lest is still very much in control of this game.
Oh, definitely, yeah, he is in full control. A lot of the damage is gone from Pooh's side here as well. Efna is still obviously providing a lot of damage, especially now that Diana is out of that immunity, so would be able to defense break that and then maybe, capitalize on that. But now, like, getting this defense break to stick is not going to be easy, because Diana can just transform and therefore take multiple turns, and defense break is gone, and it's difficult.
That's what I was thinking as well, because her attack bar was pretty... I didn't see what percent it was at before, but she was just fed a lot of attack bar to the point where she could cycle out of the defense break a lot easier. Let's see what he chooses to do with the Nikki. He's actually, for once, Pooh's kind of holding back on the AoEs here, going for sleeps, I suppose.
Yeah, I like that. I think you need to get rid of this Diana here. I don't know if I agree with that play, because I think you could have punched it with the Chandra, and Chandra's skill 1 does have a buffer move in it, so it could have just gotten rid of that soul protect and killed it right away. But now Diana's going to be able to take another transform, and that is probably going to be a dead Chandra.
That is. I don't think I'd seen that interaction before, Topa, where Diana is fed, technically. She would get a bunch of attack bar before dying to a soul protect, coming back, and then I think she had the attack bar, so even though we didn't see her gain the bar, her passive triggers still go because they were on the stack when she died.
Ooh.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, opting to not use Village skill 3 and instead going for the kill there, which is actually very smart, because, you would get the boost and you would think that you would move in front, but there were dots on Chandra, which would then give the Hey Gang, or the whole team, attack bar to the Hey Gang.
Oh, that's
so very
true.
Very cool there.
That's true. Man, this Nikki is sleeping like crazy.
Yeah, this Nikki wanted to win, and the win she will get. I mean, now the passive is not active when you revive, so this Pike is not going to do any damage, and there's just not enough damage to deal with this Nikki, and I guess Pooh makes it out. Well played.
Wow. And this was just kind of through like a realignment here, because so Pooh was really busting out those AoEs, feeding the Diana, and kind of like a change of pace decided to hold a few back until he knew he could capitalize on that third skill from Nikki to kill Diana. Very well played.
Yeah, definitely. I thought that the Chandra seems to have a lot of minus wind on it as well. That Diana was only doing about 3,000 to it, while it was doing like 4,500 to F9, I believe. So that Chandra hung on for dear life, and Pooh ultimately getting the win going to the finals.
Very, very well done from Pooh. That was a pretty excellent showcase of how to rune up a tanky Chandra and deploy it in a legend tournament. Like, that was super cool. And now we're going to be seeing True Whale versus Pooh in the finals. This is so good. Again, like, this is SWC quality games in the legend tournament tonight, Topa.
Definitely. I mean, it's always SWC quality games. Arguably, it is a lot more difficult to get to the Legend tournament than SWC. So these are definitely high quality games that we're seeing here tonight.
Big time. Yeah, I'm huge fan of these. Love the best of 5, and that was the first 5-round game that we've seen tonight. Granted,
Yeah.
we'd only had one before it, but there's only one after it too, and it's the biggest one. Folks, we got a coupon code for you right now. LTS31 Games Start. Legend Tournament Season 31 Games Start. That's the code. If you happen to be on Android, you can just navigate over to the events page, scroll on down, and type that code in. You can get yourself 5 mystical scrolls, as well as some mana just for typing that in. And stick around because usually there's more than one, if you know what I'm saying. That's awesome. I'm gonna have to write that down. And by the way, guys, if you happen to be on iOS, our lovely mods are posting the links in there right now. I see them pinning them to the top of the chat. So make sure you redeem those codes, guys. We have a brief break ahead of us before going into the finals, guys. So make sure that you stick with us, and we'll be right back. Okay? Stick around.
We'll see you in a bit.
We'll see you in a bit.
And not yet. We're seeing you actually right now.
Not yet.
Yeah, but I hope you guys got that code in, and we're looking forward to the final between Pooh and Truewell. Who do you have taking this final, Evan?
Dude, so there's a part of me that roots for True Whale because I still have the Americas region sympathies lingering from SWC 2024. You know what I mean? But like, I have to say that Pooh has like just surprised me throughout this entire Legend tournament as well as SWC. So I wouldn't say that I'd be disappointed in either direction, but I know that True Whale wants this. I can tell he wants it bad from the way that he's picking, and I love it. I love seeing True Whale locked in. What do you think, though? Who do you think's gonna win?
Yeah, I'm going to say True Whale, and we're heading to a break right now, I believe.
Oh, now we're going to break. All right, send it to break. Welcome back to the Legend Tournament for Season 31 of RTA. My name is Evan, and I'm still joined by Topa V. What's going on, Topa?
Not much. We're still here, and I'm super excited for the finals. We got True Will and Pooh, going for the title here.
Chat, we find ourselves in a position where we got the America's Cup champion from SWC 2024 and the APAC champion from SWC 2024 going up against each other. Topa, this is like an SWC, almost rematch opportunity here. Almost.
It is, yeah. That's very cool. I guess we get to settle which is the better region. Is it Americas or is it Asia?
Which one's the realest one? That's what we're fighting for in the finals right now, chat.
Yep.
Before then, though, we've got the highlights from the last semifinals game between Les and Pooh right here. And I think we were talking about this briefly during the break, right, Topa? It's like, this has definitely been a showing of artifacts.
Yeah, just artifacts and room quality and everything, A lot of those games really went the other way I expected. I expected the Juno to kind of take over that game 2, and I expected Camilla to take over this game 3, but, Pooh managed to get it out with, that Chandra, being so tanky. Look at the damage from that bike. Only doing 4,000 hit. I believe it was doing 8,000 other units. It just goes to show how much minus wind is on that Chandra.
Exactly. No, there's a lot of minus wind there, and I think that ends up being the differentiating factor here. And folks in chat were calling it out too. I know you were calling it out mid-game. We're going to see it in the next round, I think after this one, because right now what we're watching is round 4. And this was more clearly in the side of Les. This was that one, Topa, where we saw Les just pick those units so quickly in the pick ban phase.
Yep. Oh. And then here in the game 5, as you mentioned, that Dines did no damage to that Chandra. He lived through all of that, and somehow, a couple lucky Nikki sleeps, who managed to pull this out and take the win in game 5.
That was essential that the Chandra stay alive there. And, when we say it's a showing of artifacts, right? It's a credit to additional damage sources from other units, and on that Chandra, potentially minus wind. Of course, we'll never be super privy to what's actually on it, but I like to think that it is a lot of minus wind there, Topa.
Yeah, definitely looked like it from, all signs point to a lot of minus wind, but I guess we'll never know. Maybe it's just super high defense or something like that. So, but yeah, looking forward to this, we can see the bracket here, and the finals is indeed True Will versus Pooh, who are actually the number 1 and 2 seeds.
Oh, that's right. Look at this. They were fighting the whole season for those 2 spots just to wind up back there again in the Legend Tournament. True Whale versus Pooh in our last best of 5 during the finals. Will True Whale get his 3rd Legend placement and show up in the Hall of Fame yet again, or will Pooh walk away with his first one ever? This is definitely one for the history books, folks. This is going to be a fun one. And of course, it's been a super stellar Legend Tournament all the way up to this point. Like the game quality, Toba, has just been off the charts today.
Yeah, it has. It's been very close matches. Some unique picks as well. With the Shaha, maybe even the Camilla. Not monsters that we usually see, and it's been a nice showing. And definitely, looking forward to what these two players bring in the last match here.
I love getting to see what's going on in Lest's head. It's like, even though he's no longer with us in the finals, it's like you said, it's been like crazy picks tonight. We get to see what he's cooking up. Maybe this is a peek at the season 32 meta. Who knows? Is this going to catch on? Folks in chat, are you ruining up a Wind Desert Warrior after this? I'm not sure if I will be. I was really on board with Asher. I don't know if I'm as on board with Shahat, but I don't know. Topo, we'll have to see. I don't know what's going on. We got True Whale versus Pooh right here in the finals of the RTA Season 31 Legend Tournament.
Yeah, what we do know is going on is that these two players are going head-to-head for that title here. And as you mentioned, Pooh is trying to get that first Legend finish, and True Whale has done it twice. He's looking to get in that elite group of people that have won 3 or some. I don't think anyone has won more than 3 Legends. So
yeah, I think Kellen Bao has the record at 3 right now, if I'm not mistaken. Chat, fact check us in the meantime, but I'm pretty sure Kelly and Bao holds the record.
Yeah, I think Dog Guy also has 3 Legends, but I guess that account is long gone these days. But anyways, we were going
Mythologize now.
Yeah, True Whale is trying to accomplish that here as well, getting the first pick in the cigar.
Oh, the cigar first pick. Probably like the one of the, if not the most important member of what we call the Holy Trinity of the recent ones with the cigar, Veligul, Chandra. Would you agree with that statement, Toba?
I think I would agree with that statement. I was actually picking Chandra first pick for majority of the season, and then just in these last couple of days, like today, earlier on the stream, I actually was first picking Cigar as well. Realizing that he's probably the more integral part of that combo. But Pooh not letting True Whale get that full combo and taking the Chandra away.
The cigar just offers so much value, like on every single skill. Turns out hard crowd control on every skill is really good. It's like just provoke, and then attack bar reduction and reset. That's awesome.
Yeah, who would have thought? And also, providing that defense break that on that skill too allows you to combo with units like this Julian here, for example. And that defense break, and Julian can then do massive damage.
True Whale not slowing down with the aggression, locking in that Sonya and the Ciara to round out the draft.
Yeah, I'm not sure how I like going for that. I mean, this has to be a Swift Ryu, the way he's drafting, but even then, that's a very low base speed unit. And Pooh already has the speed advantage, and now that FNAP last pick is just looking monstrous.
Oh yeah, Pooh's probably going to be able to, if he could take down the Ciara potentially, or at least guaranteed stunner.
Yeah, and we'll see the ban on the FNA, no surprise there. I suppose ban on Julian is a bit weird. I mean, this Sonya does have a potential of going first now. That incredible base speed she has.
Yeah, maybe he wasn't confident that the Oliver could keep it down the whole time. But now we're in the first round here of the best of 5. Got the reset on the Sonya.
Is that a Swift Oliver? That Oliver is moving in front of the Gianna.
Wait, that's a really good point.
A lot.
What is Pooh cooking right now, dude? How is he that fast?
Yeah, it's either super fast, violent, or on Swift, and definitely Nemesis opposite. Is that a Nemesis? Wait, was that a Nemesis on the Ciara too?
What is,
that is a Nemesis on the Ciara. What is going on?
We are eating well tonight. Also, chat is saying that I'm getting news from Nadim over on YouTube chat that there's someone with 4 Legend tournament wins. Nadim, please drop the name. Is it not Dog Guy? Who has more than Dog Guy? Tell me about.
Yeah, that might be Dog Guy 4 then. But either way, I mean, I guess this game is over here,
Oh my god. Pooh was like messing around with some interesting rune builds here. So maybe, I guess we'll have to double check, but I'm pretty sure you're right that this Oliver has got to be on Swift or something. In order to move in front of the Gianna like that, that is highly suspicious.
Yeah, and also moving in front of the True Whale's Ryu, which is probably built on Swift if he runs a comp like this, but then the Ryu was also off will, so Oliver was able to capitalize on that, and yeah, it's not a huge fan of True Whale's draft there.
Yeah, and we had someone in chat too say, should ban the Oliver. That's been the story of True Whale's life in this whole bracket today. Like, this is the second time today that he's had to dance around an Oliver. So I'm interested to see how he's going to tackle this again. Maybe he'll take the same approach. We might see it appear in a pre-ban in a second. It is crazy. It's dangerous. I don't know. Topo, do you think that the Oliver was really the hinge point, or do you see that maybe there was a different thing that kind of shifted that out of True Whale's favor?
It was just a combination of things. Oliver was definitely a big part of that, especially having that 33% speed lead. That gave Pooh the edge to go first with the, I guess having, or potentially having the Efna, which got banned, but then having the Sekhmet. So still got the first turn, and then, I guess it also outsped the Ryu, which happened to be an off-will, and, was able to control the match from there.
Let's see how True Whale is going to change this up this time around. Again, the two-time Legend Tournament winner, the America's Cup champion, up against the APAC champion from SWC 2024. Like, this is crazy.
Can't help but notice that the True Whale banned the Water Twin Angels from Pooh last game, and he was actually heavily utilizing the Water Twin Angels in SWC. We saw him really rely on the Water Twins, but I don't think we've seen Pooh draft Water Twin Angels here today in this tournament. So maybe True Whale, I guess did his homework, but hasn't really been paying as much attention to the matches that he had against Lest.
It could be the case. That's a good observation. Oh, I see. So we got word from that. Had same profile pick. One of them has 3 and the other had 1 legend. Oh, I see. So no, it is 3. 3 is the record. Okay. Then we're good. Just to kind of close that little thing at the end there. Thank you for double checking on that, chat. We appreciate you fact checking on the fly.
Yeah, and then this is interesting.
Again, is this the first Vanessa we've seen all day today, Topa?
I think it might be, and that's what I was saying. It's really interesting. Now there's like all the speed leads were available. He even had the Water Twin Angels, the Oliver, the Chandra, which he's been utilizing a lot. Often go for the Vanessa. Very interesting here. And then, True Whale responding with the meta here. No surprises there.
That leads me to think that maybe Pooh is like digging into the deepest corners of his monster box to bring out a different sort of team. That's exactly what we're seeing. This is a sort of like volatility that we have not seen out of Pooh tonight.
Yeah, this is a completely different team and draft that he utilized against Lest. And True Whale is still going to his tried and true here with the Yanhong, the super fast Yanhong, and then picking up a
Voldemort.
Not Kovarchi, but Zenisek. Yeah,
I'm picking up the Zenisek. Oh my god. Oh, thank you, Michael. That's so nice. Yeah, Pooh's put himself in a position now where he's got really good lead options. Like, everything is fantastic. He's going to have a 30% lead or a 33% lead or another. Look at him. He's greedy with these 33s.
Yeah, this is again a little bit like the first game. True Whale's like kind of committing the speed, but not really. And then Pooh is going like fully the speed. And, we can see there's 2 33s and a 30, and then having the high base speed in the FNA. But I guess that now he only has 1 high base speed in the FNA. And then True Whale does pick up the Ragdoll, though, which doesn't really signal an FNA ban, since, FNA is obviously built on 100 crits, so that's going to be giving a lot of attack by the Ragdoll, but it's still the ban.
Yeah, I'd love to hear True Whale's thoughts on what was going in there too. I'd love to know what both these players consider when they throw out their bans, because I thought the same thing that you did there. I'm thinking the Etna is a reason to bring the Ragdoll, but maybe he was thinking the Ragdoll would actually be the ban. Either way, Yanhong with this super high base speed followed closely by the Oliver again.
Yeah, I guess there's a little bit of mind games in the draft, right? You pick the Ragdoll, you probably expected to get banned, right? I mean, that's definitely what True Whale expected here, banning the FNA. And then, if the Ragdoll does get banned, the FNA is definitely the correct ban. But now that the Ragdoll didn't get banned, it looks a little bit foolish banning the FNA, but obviously we know where True Whale was coming from.
Yeah, that's right. Just go in for the damage at this point, exactly. You got the bomb on it, but you don't really care. You just want to knock out the Han while you can.
Yep. Pooh opting to not use the Gianna skill 3 here. Very interesting.
Oh my god, the damage on that Yanhong.
Yeah, but that is a pretty tanky Yanhong too. My Yanhong would have been dead 3 times over from that damage. So
You're being humble right now, Toba, but it is a great Yan Hong. Ultimately, though, a first skill hit from Gianna is going to be the thing to put it down in the grave. She missed the bomb, but she lands all the stuns, baby.
Yeah, and Ragdoll doesn't get the proc, so Han gets one more turn here, a chance to do a little bit more damage, and Pooh is definitely in control here once more.
So this seems like this was a situation where maybe True Whale just didn't bring enough damage to put down that Han effectively a couple times. You know, it's like there wasn't really any defense break on this team. What do you think? What do you think kind of went wrong here for True Whale?
I think the Ragdoll last pick is not that influential, right? Like, if you're okay banning the Fna, clearly, right? He banned the Fna. So I think you should just take something that like deals with the rest of the team, because if there is no Fna on the team, the Ragdoll is actually a really poor pick. There's a lot of single target skills with like Oliver and the Han, which Ragdoll is not that good into.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's like, I'd love to see this thing torrent something into oblivion. Unfortunately, that's just not going to happen with the Oliver here, I don't think. Oh wait, actually, hold on. Yeah, he's still got the reset. Oh,
yeah,
look at that.
Even if it were to happen, right? There's still 4 units on the side of, or 3 other units on the side of Pooh there. So yeah, Ragdoll pick, not the most optimal pick there.
Exactly, especially when it's like, one of the units that was going to feed you the attack bar, ended up getting banned. But I could totally see how True Whale would think, he's presenting a lot of crits, AoE crits in that fashion. So maybe he's going to ban the Ragdoll. He's going to take the bait and ban it. But Pooh saw through it. Credit to Pooh. Like, he actually really kind of read through that pick ban phase really well. And that takes a lot of experience.
Definitely. I know a lot of players, they're just kind of comfortable, or they get comfortable in not their first or fighting the first 4 opponents of the, what am I saying? The first 4 monsters from the opponent, right? So then they just get in that auto mentality. All right, let's ban the 5th pick. And in that case, it would have been the Ragdoll. So then Pooh may have anticipated that True Whale thinks that he is banning the Ragdoll, and in response, True Whale would be banning the Fna, and then in response, Pooh actually doesn't ban the Ragdoll. And that might be all the mind games that were going on. I'm just theorizing here. But either way, Pooh is in a very dominant position, 2-0 lead.
Dude, and right now, True Whale is just going to do everything in his power to make sure that Pooh does not get a 3-0 in the finals right now. The first 3-0 of the night. If anybody can do it, it would be True Whale. He could bring this back. Could get a point on the board. Tree in Twitch chat actually said 0 crit Gianna. That's an interesting point. I don't know. Did the Gianna not crit? I didn't notice that.
Yeah, I don't recall it critting, and that's a lot of people don't build their Gianna on crit rate anymore. So that's another thing, right? You have that AoE from the Gian, you think okay, it's gonna crit, but nowadays, especially since they nerfed the S1 attack bar gain on critical hits, going crits on oracles is not mandatory at all.
Yeah, my Juno's still 100, but my Ciara is no longer built on crit rate. I just funnel a bunch of attack on her and HP. I just make her tanky and, just attack and additionals.
Yeah, that's definitely the way to go for Ciara. She does have that bomb. Obviously, for Juno, it's a different story. Basically, she only has that S1, to
That's all she's good for, is that S1. That's all she's good for.
Yeah, there's the skill too, is okay in some situations, but you mainly just draft her for that passive and then the S1 damage and cycling. So
you remember that legendary strip we got on stream today where it was Juno skill 2 made it look like TOA? It was 7 debuffs, seven dots, I think. That was crazy.
I literally remember that moment, the moment I was saying that Juno only has S1. It's wait a second, there was that insane S2 on the stream. It's maybe she has an S2 as well.
And I got super lucky I stunned the Bella Jewel. Anyway, we're back in the
Juno, she's here.
Speaking of Juno,
Speak
of the Juno, and she shall appear, right, Topa?
Yeah. Pooh is once again going for this turn 1 threat here with having the super fast Violent Gianna, now that we know there's some Violent, unless he has multiple Giannas. We have seen players with multiple Giannas as well as the segment. And then this fast Oliver, maybe True Whale can pick up on this, that the Oliver outspeeds the Gianna. But I think a lot of these units on True Whale's side are going to be off will, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, by this point, I think True Whale's probably locked in on that. I'm pretty sure he's remembering. He's committing all of the Olivers that he's encountering to memory, because he's had a lot of tough encounters with them tonight. The Julian gets banned, and we also have a potential Xingche showing here too. I was talking earlier about how the buff really kind of propelled him into the limelight of this season. So we'll see if he has a good showing this time.
Yeah, well, Segment, on the other hand, is not having a great showing. At least let's get the strip there.
Continues her absolutely legendary run of missing her skill 3 every time.
Yeah, it doesn't end up mattering that much since, he did get the strip and then Oliver is able to patch that up. But we'll see.
Oh, and the Zenisek resist. You notice there that Pooh actually got the sleep from Nikki, but Zenisek resisted it. Very fortunate for True Whale. Good stuns are going to give him the opportunity that he potentially needs to climb back here.
Ooh, that Nikki is definitely built on 100 res, and monkeys, it does require a lot of stats, so this one is not seeming to be that high in accuracy. You saw the Diva's break getting resisted, and then also the S1 actually got resisted. The S1 stun got resisted there as well.
Yeah, the no defense break. I saw the stun got resisted as well. I know that, Oliver is like a traumatizing thing here, but yeah, True Whale's now locked in on the Nikki. That's exactly where I was going to point him. It's like the Nikki is definitely the one thing that can kind of throw this game in the trash for True Whale.
Definitely, yeah. Nikki has to be the first target here. After that, there's no sustain, and Juno might be able to take over. It's unlikely, but Juno could have it.
Based on the history of this bracket today, I'm hesitant also to say that she can solo, because I know that I was really convinced that she could solo too. Well, let's see. This is a good chance for her, especially Juno that's on revenge. Like Despair Revenge, Juno goes hard in situations like this.
Yeah, but that Gianna S1, look at that 2,400 damage a hit. That is some insane artifact quality coming out of Pooh.
I felt that damage straight out of the screen. It was like Gianna reached out and hit me 3 times. Nice, Jingjae. That's what True Whale needs.
Yeah, he definitely needs a few more of those. And, this Juno is getting dangerously low already. Oliver also doesn't have any debuffs on his skills, so he can kind of just slowly take the Juno out here.
He can. Chat, this is looking grim. It's a little close, though. Chat, I want to hear who you think is going to take it. Is Pooh going to get a 3-0 on True Whale, or can True Whale pull it back?
Yeah, getting a very lucky double resistance on the Xingzai there, so Oliver is going to be out of that out of skill for a little bit here and getting that Diva's break there as well.
Yes.
Ooh, but no stuns.
Dude. But I'm so glad he used the skill 2 there, because that's exactly the situation where you fish for it.
Oh, that's a display there coming out of Pooh.
Yes, that just healed the Juno.
Yeah, that was definitely a misplay from Pooh, using the S2 from Sekhmet. That put debuffs on the Juno, which then gave her the speed buff, which made it move in front of the Oliver. And Oliver remained death broken, and Juno's able to capitalize on that, and Juno actually takes it home.
Oh my god, she did it. That read to me, Topo, like a desperation play. Like, I think he thought that maybe just like additional damage or something would be enough to take out, both of them. Maybe. Like, you land defense break on the first hit, the other 2 are enough to kind of capitalize on it. But that was too greedy if that's the case, because Juno needed those debuffs so that way she could stay in the game.
Yep. And Juno did it this time, and we did not have our 3-0, so I'm thankful for that at least. But True Whale still has to win 2 more, and Pooh remains at match point here, so he's definitely has a long road ahead of him if he wants to claim that 3rd legend title.
I feel like we were owed that Juno solo. We'd been tantalized with the potential for a Juno solo this entire time. She finally pulled through with a little help from her friend Xingzai. I'm seeing folks in chat saying literally through. That's what I'm saying. I think it was a desperation play. I think it was something where maybe he misread it and was like, I think I can take it if I get that defense break on the first one. It was a little greedy, but one of the cool things about doing best of 5, I mean, we'd have a best of 5 in the finals regardless, but that notwithstanding, being in a best of 5 means that you can kind of take risks like that and not be totally living in fear afterwards, right, Topa?
Yeah, definitely. Even in like SWC, we actually had a best of 7 for the final, and we saw like Les test a couple of speeds in that best of 7 against Kelly and Bao, and the more games there are, the more obviously the more room for error there is, and the more room for testing there is, and it also really just surfaces like who ultimately is the better player, like who can adapt better and all that stuff.
Yeah, and if there's one thing that True Whale's really good at, it's adapting on the fly.
For sure, and he's going to need that here as his Chandra is banned here, but still just going for that Sagar, and Pooh has his foot on the gas his whole way through, just going for that turn 1 aggression.
And this is that super aggressive play style, like you were pointing out, like, oh, the Pontos. Wait a minute. I don't know if I'm vibing with the Pontos. I don't know. What do you feel, Topa? I feel like maybe we're lacking damage.
We might be, but I was also thinking that we really need a speed lead on Truebell's side, so Pontos does fill that role at least. But yeah, like already into a Gianna, and now the Juno's coming out too. Like, yeah, I think I would have liked the Laura to be some sort of a damage dealer instead.
Yeah, because now it's like there's so many strip opportunities on Pooh's side, and it feels like Pooh can just kind of continue his draft uninterrupted at this point.
Yeah, rounding it out with that Nikki, we saw that Nikki do great work in that game 5 against Les, but not so much against Truebell just now. So we'll see. Truebell can pick some sort of a damage here.
I'm seeing some folks in chat rooting for Pooh as well, because this is potentially his first legend victory right here. And it could be an upset. Truebell trying to go for the 3rd one in the books, trying to get his name in there 3rd time for that legend victory. And Pooh could absolutely disrupt that right now.
Absolutely, yeah. Pooh has been, drafting and playing really, really well today, and would definitely be deserving of that title here. But yeah, Truebell rounds out his draft that CR, another speed lead and that bit of damage that we were asking for. So good pick there. But now there's not really a Swift unit on the side of Truebell.
Laura with that 120, that crisp 120 base speed. Taking turn 1, push back, and what's good about this, I suppose, is that Juno could potentially miss the strip, but I don't know if it matters. Let's see how this goes.
Yeah, well, there's not going to be any strip because Sagar is moving next with that speed buff from the Laura and getting the pushback. And actually, there wasn't a speed unit on the side of Pooh either. So this is definitely looking very good for Truebell, especially after landing all the pushbacks and provokes.
Yeah, great call out there. She did end up getting rezzed. Didn't resist. Juno's now down 1 more turn before she can actually strip anything. So Truebell has a nice window here. He's taking good control. This could be his 2nd point on the board.
Wait, this Sierra is on Will Nemesis Seal.
What? She put that seal?
Yep, she put that seal, and I'm pretty sure she had Will runes. At least in the match before. Yeah, there's the seal again.
What is he cooking? Dude, this is crazy. These folks are really onto some new rune tech going on.
This is wild. Yeah,
if he does put this up, I do believe that Juno's strip is up, yeah.
Yeah, maybe a slight miscalculation there on Truebell's side. But then Juno's strip is not that consistent, and then this also allows, the Laura now to get her skill 3. Not going for the skill 3, but, could have gone for the skill 3 there. And then, Juno wouldn't have that buff remove. But this Sierra with the seal, oh my.
She's landing seal all over the place. She's making a very good case for seal runes in general right now, Topa.
Yeah, for sure, Vanessa Vanessa wasn't sealed up there. Maybe she should have been sealed up because to just get that violent proc there, defense break the Laura, and Laura is in a little bit of trouble right now. Definitely should be using the skill 3 here.
Thinking she can get a little bit of extra damage. There's a counter from the Juno that's going to take down the Laura in a cruel twist of fate. one last seal for the road. Look at that.
There was another seal. But there was no silence on the Vanessa this time, so Vanessa does have the revive. And no provoke either. Oh, but the crit.
Oh, look at this, Topa. This is looking pretty good. I think you put it on Juno and pop it. I think you just go for it.
I think I would have gone for it too. That bomb did, 26,000 damage turn 1 against the Han? The game has gone on for a bit longer, so that should be about a 28,000 bomb, which probably would take out the Juno.
Yeah, because I think that these two remaining units would have a lot easier time dealing with Vanessa than Juno. So, but we'll see how that. We'll see if that actually comes into play. Maybe it won't. Oh, she's hanging on. I don't know. I'm scared, man. I think maybe that should have gone on Juno.
Yeah, but he's fine here. You know, to get that reset, so there's no strip here, and we're still hanging on. We also that Ponto's S1 also did actually pretty good damage. We saw it on the finishing off that Nikki earlier, so Ponto's S1 might be enough to take out this Juno here.
Yes. Oh, there you go. Yeah, true whale with this. It goes for the AoE.
Yeah, S2. That'll do the trick too.
That was so funny. I don't know, like. Chat, that was such a true whale way to end that game, because even though he was practically guaranteed to kill that Juno, right, he still didn't use skill 1 because he didn't want to pass the dots just in case it passed the dots and then Juno could heal. That was so funny.
Yep. You know, it was funny. We're both talking about the lack of damage on True Whale's team, and then all of a sudden the Ponto seemed to be built on damage. Like that Ponto is actually critting a lot and actually putting out some serious numbers.
Every time it hit, I was definitely surprised by the numbers that it was pumping out. Because truly, I thought that he was lacking damage in that game. But it just goes to show that I'm having to relearn this same lesson each time we watch a set. It's like these guys have so much damage just lingering around in their artifact substats, or like also in their rune efficiency. Like the runes of these guys are off the charts, and I would expect nothing less from like previous Legend champions, previous SWC Regional Cup champs. Like we're getting a great show from these guys.
Yeah, and we're going to Game 5 here, Evan. This is so exciting. It's coming down the wire here.
This is it. This is it, guys. Best of 5, 5th round. True Whale versus Pooh. Let's see who this season's legend will be.
Yeah, True Whale trying to gatekeep Pooh from getting this first legend title, going for his third one as we go in the pre-bans here. Both speed monsters banning out both sides.
Yeah, True Whale really wanting that third, and he will deny Pooh his first to get it. That's what he wants. What's up, Rivensu?
Yeah, this would be a reverse sweep, a full reverse sweep. Pooh was up 2-0, and now we're tied to 2-2. It is match point either way. You know, this is the final game here. So, and True Whale now taking down Oliver. Pooh with a very early Wind Monkey response.
Yeah, I mean, we said it earlier. If anybody could do this, it's True Whale. And so the Wind Monkey pick, it's like, I don't know, Topa, do you think? I think that Oliver is enough to justify the Wind Monkey. What do you think?
It might be. I said it's a bit early, but, you know, Wind Monkey, you know, Oliver is usually paired up with units that Wind Monkey does well into. And right now, I mean, that is showing through here. Pooh's draft is phenomenal into what True Whale is bringing here.
Oh, yeah. And, like, there's a little bit of sustain from the Lucia to keep the Acroma alive. You know, there's counterattacks. There's also the Acroma implies a glancing effect, right? So that means that, like, you're kind of stuck between an Acroma and a hard place, because it's like, you know, you're swinging in, you're getting punished by the Jingxie, you're not doing a lot of damage. Like, Pooh's draft is incredibly synergistic and also very geared around punishing Oliver.
Yeah, and it's also, you know, deals... That's why I wasn't a huge fan of True Whale's second round picks in the Miles and the segment, because Pooh is not really showing speed, right? He's going with the Xingzi in the first round picks. Sure, he has a 33 speed lead, but going with the Xingzi, like, you're already almost committing to this turn 2 style draft. So then True Whale picking like 2 very high speed units in the Miles and the segment. Just not a huge fan of that.
Yeah, I want to see it one more time in chat. Who do you think's going to win? This is your last chance to say your prediction. True Whale versus Pooh. We're going into Game 5 right now. Looks like a poll was run over on the YouTube side. We got 70% for True Whale, 29% rooting for Pooh to get that first Legend Tournament win right now. Pedza over on Twitch is hoping for a draw. Get off the fence, Pedza. No, I'm just kidding.
I don't think, have we ever seen a draw in a Legend Tournament? I don't think we have. That would be something.
No, I don't think so. I think we've seen the opposite, where we see people scoop super fast, but I don't think we've ever gotten to a draw. Wow, so many counters coming out here, because oftentimes the Lucia is built on multiple sets of revenge.
Yep. And I'm going to say it outright. I don't know how True Whale gets through this.
Neither do I.
Leo being on the field too. It's like Miles is no damage. There's just Oliver doesn't do pushbacks.
Did you see the seal runes pop out too? There's a unit over there on seal. I think it was the Xingxie.
Yep, the Xingxie is built on seal. So you know what? That heal block might be the way.
That would be a good opportunity. Let's see if he can capitalize on it, because there's nothing AoE. But if anybody can proc into something, it'd be Oliver. Let's see it. Nothing. This is, of course, this is the time when Oliver decides to not take the 22.
Yeah, there's no cleanse on the side of Pooh, so that defense break, and well, that's one way to cleanse yourself, I suppose. But the defense breaks and heal blocks and other debuffs will be sticking. But how much uptime do you really have on those when there's a Leo on the board? So you can't take full advantage of your speed here.
Oh man, dude, I gotta say, I am so impressed by Pooh's draft. Like, this is complete shields up, like, weapons online. Like, I am all defense, baby. Like, the best offense is a good defense, apparently.
Yeah, and this is also, a full passive team coming out of Pooh here. And like I said before, I don't see how Truebill gets through this. I think it's only a matter of time before Truebill drops here, and Pooh will looking to be claiming his first ever Legend title here.
I know, and it's so funny to call that when all the units are in play, but it is so difficult to think of a world where Truebill can break through this wall. Pooh is very well on his way to becoming the first, to achieving his first Legend Tournament victory for Season 31 here. Man, the Miles is just so hindered by the Leo right now too, Topa.
Yeah, doing 2,000 damage a hit, it's just not gonna cut it. And already losing to Oliver, and I don't see it.
Man, it happens. It's like you think you get the cycling from the Oliver, or do you think Miles won't be impacted that badly? It's always more than you think it is. With the Miles versus the Leo, like, so much of Miles' damage comes from Leo, or rather from his speed is hindered by that.
Exactly, yeah. That segment is already looking weak here, and the Raccoon, as good of a unit it is into the Leo, providing all that attack power manipulation, and as well as the healing, it's just not enough healing in the long run here. Pooh definitely has a lot more sustain with, just having tankier units in the first place, with all the shields and the heals coming out, and segment drops, and we're well on our way.
I would have loved to see this draft again, but with Leo banned, maybe, or something, or Tessarion or something like that.
There it is.
There it is. Ooh. Pooh is the champion for RTA Season 31. He is our legend. Dude, that's first time in the Hall of Fame as a legend, Topa. What a great job. And honestly, that draft was a great way to round it out.
Yeah, very, very good showing all throughout. He didn't get it easy. Went through Lest and Truebill, two very, very formidable opponents there. And both games went to a game 5. So,
he had to fight. Yeah.
Yep.
Like, he really had to fight. And honestly, like, what a pleasure it was as a viewer. Again, like, these are SWC, like, staple names. All these guys were like SWC, like, champions of their own region in their own right. It's like True Whale America's Cup. We even had Lest from the China qualifier. We had Pooh from APAC. Like, crazy pop-offs here. These are the highlights from the set that we just saw here, Topa. So what do you have to say now that we have the benefit of hindsight looking at some of these games?
I think like the first 2 matches, I feel like Truebill was almost like testing speed a little bit, like Pooh kind of just got the jump on Truebill in those first 2 matches and kind of just ran away with them, and then Truebill definitely clapped back, didn't got a fight, taking the 3rd and 4th game, but ultimately then 4th game, maybe he got a little bit too caught up on the speed, right? Like, he picked up the Miles and the segment into already a Xingze, a passive, slower turn 2 team.
It's a good observation. Yeah, it might have been a little miscalculation there. We saw the return of the Zenisec this time, and this was really like the do or die moment for True Whale, right? Who's been at match point for a while now, and True Whale did such a good job almost bringing it all the way back. And this is the one where we finally got to see the Juno solo, Topa.
Yeah, like I thought that Pooh was actually going to take it 3-0 there. Like, that, the 3rd game didn't look that good for True Whale either. But, Juno, she was due. She was due when she got it done there. And then, this very, very good drafting here on game 4 from Truewell, but
And we remember this particular moment. That was the one part where both you and I were like, I would have liked to see that bomb and detonation go on Juno instead. I think maybe there would have been like a slight difference in that game if that had happened. But, it just would have been cool to see.
yeah, Truewell just trusting, I guess, his Pontos there, having enough damage to take out the Juno eventually, and didn't want to risk the bomb not killing, because then, then that would be detrimental. Juno would be like healing right back up, and then the Vanessa is still there at full HP. So
exactly. And you'd give her a dot in theory too, right? It ultimately worked out. So, it's like, it truly doesn't matter, but it would have been one of those moments where it's like, my palms got a little bit sweaty. That's all I'm saying.
Yep.
I was a little scared. This is the journey that we've been on tonight, guys, for RTA season 31. We saw Truewell climb from the semifinals to meet Pooh in the finals, where Pooh would eventually claim his first legend title and get his name put in the Hall of Fame right next to RTA season 31. This is his season, Topa. How good must that feel?
Yeah, I mean, must be amazing. He's definitely, put in the work this year, as you mentioned. He kind of came out of a little bit out of nowhere. Not that many people are familiar with the name Pooh, but now a whole lot of people are, especially, with SWC. And I mean, this amazing achievement here too in season 31 of the Legend Tournament.
Oh yeah, he's absolutely come into the limelight with the recent SWC. With the advent of SWC 2024, Pooh has just become a staple. He's everywhere now. He's winning APAC. He's appearing at World Finals. Now he's a Legend Tournament champion. People are going to remember this name now. His journey was predominantly, we weren't privy to his journey prior to this, but now it's like everybody's locked in on Pooh and how he progresses through Summoner's War in the future too. Because, I mean, knowing him, this is probably not his last Legend Tournament that he'll be appearing in based on what we're seeing. The quality of drafts, like this, the solid units, the tanky Chandras, the dude's crazy.
Yeah, and just the consistency of play. He's been at the top of the leaderboards. Most of this year, really. As we wrap 2024 to a close, it's really a kind of been a Pooh's year in a lot of ways. And what better way to wrap up 2024 than with another coupon code to you guys? Goodbye, LT 2024.
Goodbye, LT 2024. So that's 2 codes from the night, guys, for a total of 10 mystical scrolls. Do the 10 pull together. Let us know if you pull anything cool from it too. That's just a little thank you for hanging out and watching some really cool games of RTA. Again, like some of the best of the season. So this was great. And thank you for all the support in chat too. Folks are really loving the commentary too from you, Topa. And it has been so much fun casting with you, man.
Yeah, it's been a great time, super happy that I was able to make it here in the end. And got to see some great matches.
Me too. Chat, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this one. To me, this is one of my most favorite Legend tournaments in recent memory, to be honest. I also really liked that final game from Pooh. I was just like, this is exactly the sort of super tanky, super annoying bruiser teams that I want to be playing. So I got to live vicariously through that a little bit. That was so fun, dude. Do you have a standout game from the night, by the way, Topa?
I think it would be the game 3 Truewell versus Pooh, where the Juno actually made it out.
Yeah, dude, when we finally got to see a Juno solo, that was my favorite. Let us know what your favorite was, guys. I want to thank everybody in chat again for watching with us. This has been such a fun show, and it wouldn't be possible without you guys. And also to the folks watching in the future, checking out the VOD on YouTube. We hope you enjoyed the show. Can't wait to see you next time. Have fun in RTA Season 32, everybody, and Special League. Bye, everyone. Have a good night.
Yeah, and I think we still have a little bit more time here. So speaking on that Special League that's coming up on Monday, it's a brand new format that's coming up. So I don't know, are you guys excited about that? Finding your own server?
Oh, that's right. The server locked Special League. I hope you guys have fun with that, because that's going to be a real different way to play. We haven't had that at all yet. What do you think, Topa? Do you think that's going to be a fun one?
Yeah, I think it's definitely an interesting take, but there's a lot of concerns right now arising with that. The queue times, Special League's kind of known for lower retention of players. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see how the queues are.
Exactly. Yeah, we'll have to see how long it takes to find a game in the special league, but I think it'll be fine. I think it's going to end up being cool. The way that we were talking about it actually too is that like we'll have to see like how RTA feels without certain regions like trends, because that's a really fun conversation that like me, Stoic, and Thompson had during SWC, is that each region has its own like favorite archetype of team to play, and you see some different stuff in each one. Well, guys, enjoy your RTA journey. Hope Special League goes well for you. I think now that sounds like it might be the end of show. All right, everybody. Have a good weekend.
Yeah, we'll be
Bye, everyone.
wrapping
Thanks
up for the year. Happy holidays. Happy New Year, guys.
Happy holidays, guys.